steak and fries to go. Listen to what I said. I need something more than soup to keep me satisfied. Give me food, that's what I want. Bolognese all through the days. Can't wait till the mayonnaise. Give me food, that's what I want. A chicken curry, bring it here in a hurry. It's food that I want.
That's plenty.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Pirate King Kitchen. We have a very special guest today for our season finale. Yes, it's all lockdown's over. Apparently, everything's fine as you were. Fuck that, ladies and gentlemen. Billy Kirkwood.
Yes, I don't know what camera I'm on. Yes. Oh, my thing nearly slipped out. Sorry, it's a cushion. It's not something I've got. I don't stick lime up my arse. I'm not a bottle of Corona.
We take flavour very seriously in this programme. As you know, we like to flavour our guests.
Tastes lovely.
We're currently marinating Billy in lime.
Just my arsehole.
How the hell are you?
I am great, man. I am great. It's nice to be here. We are, even though we're all keeping safe and what have you.
A year in the making. We've been talking about kind of doing, because I think one of the first people I phoned when we were going to do the show.
That's right.
Way back was yourself.
Well, yeah.
How do you fancy do this crazy cooking thing on the internet?
I know, a terrible idea. Don't do it. I'll never catch off. I'll never be there. I'll never be part of it.
Yeah.
But no, it's here we are. Do you know, I'm great just now, man. It's lovely to see people being positive just now, I think. It's nice to see a little bit of positivity, even though we sat over there and we moaned about the world and everything.
It's all going terribly.
It's fucking a shite, isn't it? But no, I am good, mate. I am here in the Pirate. I've got this. I'm taking this home. I don't even know what this is. This is going on my wall. I'll tell my wife it's abstract art. Yeah. And we'll be like, look at this.
Well, I can set up for like a proper pirate cooking show. Then my wife comes in and starts with table mats and that.
Oh, I like that.
Cutlery and that kind of thing.
It's a nice touch.
Well, good. I'm a big fan of a nice touch.
I've never had a room of people watching me sit down before. I wasn't quite ready for that. Is that comfortable? It's like I don't know what the right answer is.
Maybe. Right. So today we're going to do a couple of things.
Yes.
One of them will be cooked. So we are going to do
just sharing the link. I'm not being an asshole. I'm just sharing the link.
Sorry, I'll chat with you.
Thank you.
A Thai fried chicken. So we are going to. It's not Korean chicken that we done a couple of weeks ago. I'll walk you through that. We're also. I did say I was going to make a cheeseburger.
Yes.
That may have been a lie.
Oh. Sorry.
Well, it's Pirate King Kitchen, and it's a big finale. Can you do a cheeseburger? So actually,
what loves a cheeseburger?
What we're going to do is a black truffle infused tostado with pork, beef, refried beans, all the flavours of a cheeseburger, but delivered in a tostado form.
Now, Pirate King, I think it's fair to say there was a couple of words in there that my working class sensibilities didn't even understand. Like, it's a burger, do you know what I mean? Smiley faces.
So a tostado is because we spoke, you like Mexican food.
I do indeed like Mexican food.
A tostado is a flour tortilla which has been deep fried. It's basically like a big crisp.
Oh!
And then
you've said that. They look nice.
And then we're going to do our mince. We're going to put some traditional Mexican flavours in there, some chorizo, some smoked paprika, all garlic, all that good stuff.
My wife's watching, she's fucking raging. Get it up your head.
I did say to you bring your wife down.
Oh, but we've got 3 kids.
That's how you drop someone in the shite.
Yeah,
no one ever. But the next time when we do the next one, because there will be a next one.
Thanks to Save, I appreciate that.
She can come down, she can sit with the Pirate Queen and do whatever.
Well, listen, we couldn't have. We've got 3 kids, and 2 of them are at least on the way to be serial killers. So, one of them's fucking is a nightmare. We've got a baby. We've got the 2 elder ones, and one of them stuck the baby's dummy up his arse, which was a delight to see the other day. Yeah. I'm hoping it's either a serial killer or a cabaret act. We're excited to see what the future holds.
Performance art.
Yes.
So, We're going to start with the Thai fried chicken. We're going to put that in a bit of a marinade for a while we do the other bits.
Okay.
So that's a bowl of milk.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
If at any point I get too technical for you here, I'll wind it back
You
in.
realised my mum was a cat. I'm delighted.
This is Thai green curry paste, right? This is a jar of Thai green curry paste, right? We've made Thai green curry on here. So if you want to make your own paste recipe, look it up. It's in the videos, Thai green curry, same paste, but it's just a jar for quickness. Some chicken thighs.
I've heard of those.
You're familiar with their work. And this will be a dredge. This will be like a KFC coatney type thing.
All right. Other fried chicken places.
Other fried chickens
Chicken cottage, for example.
Popeye's chicken, which can't get in the
KFC have paid us fuck all to mention you. So,
well, they did give me massive diarrhea.
Well, that's a payment. I don't really think it's
years ago.
I don't really think it's a currency as such, but
so
you know,
I still remember it. So basically, this is a dredge.
And you've held it against them all this time.
Fuck them. I've got a thing with Nando's as well. We'll get into that.
Well, listen, I quite like paying over the odds for a mushroom and a burger.
See if you watch back all the episodes. See all the restaurants and food chains that have done me wrong.
Right.
I have come on here on a Saturday and told the whole world how to make their shit.
Don't
go there anymore. This is how you make it.
Right. What do you think of Wimpy then? What's your...
Oh, the curry, the bender.
There's one in Kilmarnock. There's one in Kilmarnock.
Do you remember the Wimpy bender?
The beefy bender?
They would take a sausage and then would deep fry it so it bent round. And then you would bite into it and there was nothing in the middle.
Like an idiot. Bought it like an idiot, man. Wimpy is the king.
I think Wimpy was still about.
There's one, I think there's one in Kilmarnock. They just don't know yet. They're still like, that's our way of internet. They've just got to CFAX. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so anybody watching from Kilmarnock's going to give shit. But...
Half ordinary flour, half corn flour, cumin, garlic, salt. So we're just seasoning our flour.
Nice.
And I'm going to put a belt of black pepper in there. We're not going to use this for a wee while, but when I get out of the road.
I liked playing in sand when I was away as well.
Making mesh. So back to our chicken.
I never heard that word until last week.
What?
See,
you know that?
skiddling, there was something my mum said when I was away and I never thought about it.
I work in an Australian accent, I never heard that.
What's going on?
What is it? It's like when they put the cup upside down and pour the water out.
Oh, for me it was just pissing about in water. I did it all the time. Absolutely all the time when I was away. Fucking couldn't stop me. Puddles, the whole lot.
Nice.
I shouldn't have had that coffee before I came
So
up.
look at this bowl of milk. I'm going to put it in a bigger bowl.
For a bigger cat?
Cat with a longer neck.
That's a giraffe. We've discussed this before.
Why did you not just put the milk in there in the first place?
Well, he needed to look at the size of my head.
And we're just going to tip our Thai green curry paste. Are you on the overhead?
Wow.
It was a great time last week. 4 camera setup.
Brilliant.
We had a guest in, Karen Point, incredibly intelligent and
articulate
and knowledgeable woman. She was so wrapped up in what Karen was saying.
Oh.
We did get a camera change for like 15 minutes in.
People are sending messages.
She never
Karen's
used
still
that
there?
camera at all. Wow. Right. Okay. So we've tipped our Thai green. So basically that's going to work as our marinade.
Yes.
And when we put it through our dredge, all those little Thai curry goodnesses. So not an awful lot of heat in there, but you've got all that lemongrass and garlic and ginger and all that happening.
Outing me as a wuss. I appreciate that.
Little splash of salt. Kosher salt, or Karen salt as we call it, because we've got a friend who was her 40th birthday yesterday, had birthday Karen.
Happy birthday.
Who had an argument with her up here that kosher salt wasn't a thing.
I've written Karen a birthday song. Did you tell her?
No.
I've written your birthday song.
Well, I think now would be the perfect time.
This is your birthday song. It's not very long. Oh, dear, Karen.
Well done.
Just start that right there. That happened in real time.
I see no reason for that not to be the Christmas #1.
You're more than welcome. Coming for you. Rage Against the Machine. Whatever. It's the Christmas #1 these days.
So let's talk size.
About time. Right, okay. So
my knife's sharp. We can do chicken, we can do belly either way. So chicken thigh. What we are going to do to our thighs today is go in the back of your thigh.
The way you said that sounded like a magic trick there, and I was about to go, no way, he's got a card under there already.
Here's a curry up my bottom.
Yeah.
So we're basically just going to take the skin off it, find a corner, same way you would do with human skin, just pull it right off till you get to the bone line.
That's terrifying. Yeah, that's terrifying.
That's good, actually.
When I first did it with human skin, I was like, okay.
I used to wind her up when she was at school and she was a bit younger. I was going to get my mask when I used to wrestle.
Right.
I was going to put it in a frame with a little brass plaque So when boyfriends or prospective suitors come in, don't make me put it back on.
Oh wow.
So I think that's worked out well, really, for early part of your life. All our boyfriends were terrified.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They're gonna tie them in a knot.
No, I was just going to kill them and bury them.
Produce.
So
I must say, your background's looking lovely.
yeah. Well, we have managed some fantastic foundations.
A big pile of compost with an arm hanging out it is just a delight.
Holding a strawberry plant. So we basically, what we've done is just butterflied that out, made all the chicken kind of the same.
Okay.
But we have left the bone in, because that's traditional. And then we're just going to put that in its little curry bath. Done some other ones earlier on, using the same technique.
This is what I prepared earlier.
Yeah, but it's not like Saturday Kitchen. Here's one I prepared earlier. It's basically the whole dish.
I was about to say.
It's missing the little bit of parsley, and there you go. How much is your book?
Well, I was meaning to talk about my book. 10 more places I've shot myself. It's a follow-up to the original book.
So I'm going to...
Shot myself on a seesaw. Shot myself on a Costa, which was a bit of a nightmare. A couple other places. You got to buy the book to find out where they are, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, did you not say you put in the little QR codes so people can actually just, I'll take Google Maps, will take them right to the spot.
To the location.
Yeah. And you can just go...
And the mirror had it.
Yeah,
You'll know.
he did.
You'll know. You'll know.
So, I think that's most of our butchery done for today. So, lockdown. I'm not going to ask you how's your lockdown, because 9 million other people are doing it.
We're getting sick of asking that question.
What I am going to ask you,
shite. I hate coronavirus.
given the fact that you are a live performance expertise and all that stuff, you get me into live streaming.
Yes.
Because I saw you doing it, and I thought, well, if I thought,
that's the phrase you use.
That's entertaining. What can I'm not as funny as him. What else can I do? I can cook.
Yeah.
And we had lots of conversations, and you get me set up with StreamYard and all that kind of stuff. So you're faced with this, everyone's locked down, no more, you're not allowed cows or milk. So you're basically, your whole universe as a person goes,
yeah.
What was your thought process of that happening, and then going to live streaming, and then what you've done?
Do you know, like, hearing that it was going to go down this way, like, I'd sort of called it, that this is going to be trouble when I started hearing in February time. So that this is going to be trouble. Like, but maybe we'll be lucky and we'll be all out of it in like August or September, or maybe the end of the year or something. I was quite lucky because I have a breakfast radio show that I do. So I knew.
And what channel?
That's West FM every morning. Award-winning. We've broken the records as it was last Tuesday show on the station. Station history. Thank you very much. Even though I'm neither a fan of the host nor the host of the show or the format really. No, so I was quite lucky in that respect. But you've got to turn into the curve really, and in terms of there not being live crowds, one of the first things I thought was, man, that's shit for people. That's shit for people getting their nights out. It was the first people I thought of was people that enjoy going out. People, I mean, don't get me wrong. Selfishly, it's like, well, shit, there's half my income just disappeared. But God, you got to be positive as much as you can. And it was more turning into the curve. What can we do? Turn into live streaming. And God, at the end of when I first started, it's like, well, what do I do? Because some people are, already on Twitch and established, and I hadn't done a podcast. I've got to do a radio show every day. I don't really have the time for it. So I went barreling into these first live streams of like, well, I'll just do stand up. I'll just talk and what have you. So we did like 5 weeks, and we got crazy numbers because people were scared, and it was like, what do you do to give people that sense of normality that they are still connected? We were all shut up in our houses. I mean, people were terrified. I mean, I was out the next day doing a radio show when everything got locked down, and people were like, well, why? Because we were considered key workers, which is fucking hilarious when you think about it. A number of people that were like, oh yeah, key worker, do you get a letter from the government? Yeah, I got a letter from the government. Do you go to the front of the queue at the supermarket? So let me get this straight. You've got nurses, brain surgeons, firemen. Now, excuse me, if you could push out of the way, I'm going to play Dua Lipa and tell a funny joke on the internet. Like, nobody's going to, what the fuck? I'm going to get stabbed.
I have to say things to people.
I think I'll find. Out the way, madam. I know you've got a shift in 5 minutes, but fucking move it. So, I didn't do that. I joined the queue like everyone else. I was lucky. I consider doing stand-up a privilege. I consider doing radio a privilege. I don't take any of it for granted. And getting into live streaming, it was like, how can we adapt this? Now, it was about doing things right. I mean, we're doing improv now. We're doing the Monday night improv show, and it became like a two-way support net between like comedians and people watching. So that's what it was. I was lucky last summer I got to go out and do the live gigs, driving gigs that you came along to as well. It was so much fun. But getting into streaming, man, my brother was doing that now, which is mental. Dale, if you're watching, I did not know that was something. He's amazing at making things. Like he's got like a...
What's his... Give him a little shout out on...
shit, bastard. It is Maple Tree Studios.
Correct. I was just about to be
Thank you, sir. I've had got that so wrong. He's like, well, the next thing I'm making is an axe for your head, you little dick. But even at that was so amazing to see that, and we're going to collaborate on a podcast, me and him.
Fantastic.
That's going to be coming up hopefully soon. I know everyone's thinking, no, just the things, everything's opening up. You're going to start a podcast, because I'm that type of asshole. But
that's why I'm wrapping this up now.
That's why you're wrapping this up, yeah. But we're doing like the Monday night improv shows, and we're going to continue those.
Which is a fantastic segue into.
Thank you.
Play the bumper.
Oh, the bumper.
You always do it when I'm not expecting.
Yeah, when you're not paying attention.
I'm paying attention.
Ghosts. Friday night is just around the corner, and why not look to do something a bit different? Sit down and watch the most interactive comedy show on the planet, Friday Night Improv. It's where award-winning comedians are going to make up improvised comedy based entirely on your suggestions. That's right, you're in charge. Watch along in our virtual comedy club on Zoom. We can see you, you can see us, we can all hear the laughs together and have ourselves a bloody good time in real time online. Fill the couch, grab some snacks. It's only £5 per household for the most interactive night of comedy you're going to see anywhere. Grab your tickets right now in Eventbrite. We've got an amazing lineup this week. It's going to be Madeleine Robertson, Stu and Gary, MC Hammersmith, and our special guest, Joel Heenan. Get your tickets right now and join us for Friday Night Improv. Friday night, Friday! Friday! Do you hear that, mother? Fuck you!
So I think it's a Friday. Two things I want to take issue with that trailer and that show. One, I was part of your audience for when you were doing the trailer, not in the trailer. Two, T-shirt you're wearing on it says Dethrone the King.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, no, sorry.
I'm kidding.
But they do nice gear.
They do. We've got some comments, and then we'll get back to Billy.
So Karen Clinton said, hey guys, hello gang. Leslie said hi. Karen Clinton said, oh man, this sounds good. Fiona FJ said, hi guys. Karen says, I'll pay you later.
Nice.
That's a good comment.
All right, okay.
Hi y'all from Florida, JD.
Hey, JD.
Laura Gallagher said, hi everyone.
Okay. Right, you want to go overhead, get the skillet? Okay, so basically got in here is some bacon lardons. So we're going to start building a hamburger bit of a tostado.
Righto.
So we've got some finely diced chorizo sausage.
Cool.
So as you cook that through, all that kind of smoky pork fat will come out, the paprika, the garlic, and then we've got the little bacony bits. So we're just going to keep those moving about. That went in a dry pan, and as you can see, you're getting lots of nice oil. So we're going to get back to you chatting. While you're chatting,
sure, sir.
I'll be adding these at the appropriate moment. So we've got some chipotle peppers.
Yes.
Warming heat, not, oh my fuck. But they'll be going to be spread through a dish, so they'll be spread out. There's a lovely smokiness to them. Some spring onions, some garlic, and some ginger. Right. So we're at the point, we're talking about the evolution of the Friday Night Improv.
Yes. Well, it's technically, we do a free show on Monday night because the Stand Comedy Club closed it would have been last March. And if for anyone, I think it'll be like internationally, like the Stand Comedy Clubs in Glasgow and Edinburgh and and Newcastle are the mecca of UK. Like they are the best comedy. I'll say to anyone in the world, and I would challenge anyone in the world, Stand Comedy Club in Glasgow Saturday night is the best gig on the planet. I'll say that to anybody. But they closed, and it was like, well, what can we do to contribute? We used to do a show there every Monday night, Monday Night Improv. Those guys didn't have a show to go to. And I'd done the Saturday night shows, the live shows with Martin Elson and what have you. And we reached out to them because I'd started doing broadcast by then, as well. I'd taken over as the broadcast host and was doing my own stuff. And it's like, and we had, it sounds mental, but me and the other improvisers from other comics from Monday Night Improv, we were literally talking on Zoom like every other day. Like we were doing sketches, we were doing things, we were just talking what we didn't know. And we thought, screw it, why don't we do a live show every Monday night for those people? So it's on the Stands YouTube. And that's great because it's totally free Monday nights. You can tune in, sit with your cup of tea or whatever. So we did that. But we wanted to start doing Zoom gigs as well because as mental as I said, the Zoom gigs have been great. The Zoom gigs have been really, really good. They are not a substitute for a live show, I will say that, but they have been better because, again, there's a real community spirit. You get like 30 to 50 to 100 people on these Zoom gigs, and they want to experience. People will be watching
and you're
those.
Getting that feedback.
We're getting that feedback. I mean, that's the one thing we can't hear, people laughing or people talking to us right now. But in the Zoom gigs, you can. And I think that I'd miss that as like a performer. Like I'd really miss that. I mean, it's great when you're doing a show with someone else. You can have a laugh, you can have a talk, but it's not a substitute. So we do the live show every Monday night with Monday Night Improv, and it's totally made up. It's top comics making it up based on your suggestions. It's comedy in its purest form. And then we started doing Friday night shows as well. And I've done plenty of Friday night Zoom gigs, stand-up gigs, and they are great. They are like, I did one last night, which is on Windows Teams, like the Teams app and what have you. They were great because folk are missing the connection. And although the interesting thing about that is everyone was clearly on their staff night out in their best behaviour. And I take 5 minutes before I'd even told one joke of just coaching, going like, guys, the big thing is you're meant to be able to hear each other. That's the experience that you're all missing. So everybody chill the fuck out and grab a wine and just chill out and kind of mentioning that tension and they've been great. And like I said, the Friday Night Improv show, I think it's been as good for a good a connection for us, for comics, as it has been for the audience. It's as much for us. And I can tell you now, we're pretty much not really making any money on any of these things. Yeah. I don't know how long it's going to take live performance to recover. I hope it's sooner around than it is, than it could be. But, none of us are fucking millionaires. And we're doing it because we love it. And that's the thing, man. It's like, it's so weird how people go. I've seen some people have had to get regular jobs and how hard it is for them, and because we're all just one bad day away from having to do that. But the weird thing is that even with all these hard times, I realize I'm still so madly head over heels in love with comedy. Like every now and then, there's just a little reminder. It's like fuck, like almost to the point it'd be easier not to be. But if anything, it's stronger now than it's ever been. Writing new stuff, getting ready for. And that's it. It's like when things open up. People talk about when things open up. It's like, oh, I'll be ready. It's like, I'm fucking ready now, man. I am ready. I haven't stopped.
All the way ready.
I haven't stopped. It's like footballers didn't stop training. Runners, Usain Bolt's out there running every day. You need to keep ready. And I'm going to be fucking ready. I've written some new jokes.
That's just come up saying StreamYard has lost your access to Facebook.
Right, so just click it to say yes.
It says click here to reconnect.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of folk watching. I'll keep talking, of course.
Well, YouTube's still on, so we're...
Hello, YouTube.
We are moving off of Facebook. It's so unreliable.
I can totally get why.
So I'm just going to go into... So when we come back for season 3 or whatever we come back with next, we are going to do it solely on Facebook and YouTube because Facebook are killing views. They're hiding views now. Because they don't want people to be offended by how many views somebody else is getting. The streams are unreliable. So our plan for season 3 or whatever the next incarnation is, will be live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and then we'll take that, we'll edit that down into a kind of format, and then either put it on Facebook or put a link to it.
I think it's wild, man, how everything's changed in the last year. Like, I mean, look at this. I mean, this is like a full-blown TV. I've done TV productions. I've never been this advanced, and I mean that in the nicest way. It's like I think like user-fed content and what have you is going to like completely overtake. I mean, BBC Scotland. Some of you come on, fuck. Like, what are we doing here? And now here's Susan Calman. No, I've got anything against Susan Calman, or it's like. Why aren't you doing more, reaching out into the community and making, pushing this stuff as the content that we need to see?
Well, I watched that news programme on, is it STV Glasgow or BBC Glasgow or whatever it is on Sky?
Right.
And I'm not dissing any of the chefs that are on there.
Yeah.
Not the most entertaining bunch.
Yeah.
It's
It's like you should be sitting here with like I don't you could be sitting here with the cast of fucking Scott Squad, or these people you could be getting on here as part of the show. Just saying for the sake of I'm doing your job for you. Doing your job for you.
So well we've been
I'm
raging at the machine.
probably killing any chance I've got of a gig with the BBC, but
so what we basically done is we took our mince, which was 50% beef mince, 50% pork mince. We've added it to our chorizo and all that good stuff. Now that we've basically browned the mince, there's a whole ancho chili in there. We're not cutting it again. Right. It's all about chili flavour, not chili heat.
Right.
We're going to put in our poblamos.
Is that a mistake a lot of people make, do you think?
You can, if you take out the seeds and the white bit.
Yeah.
You kind of defang a chili.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people, you get two schools of thought. You want people who enjoy food, and then you get the Vindaloo crowd. Right. And if you want me to hurt you with food, I can.
Right.
But to me, people want to enjoy what they eat.
Yeah.
So if you're going to use chili, I mean, India, Mexico, they do chilies right.
Yeah.
And they don't even, we call them chilies, but to them it's just different types of pepper. These are pardon peppers, which are one up from a big green bell pepper you would buy.
Yeah.
But nowhere near as hot as a jalapeno. Jalapeno on a stick. Cut that down. So what I'm basically done here, I've got some pardon peppers, some cherry tomatoes, and a lemon. We'll stick these in the oven. I'm going to roast them because that's going to be one of our accompaniments. And again, leaving the whole lemon in there.
Okay. My wife fucking hates tomatoes as well.
So do I.
I love tomatoes. I remember that was my mum's diet sandwich. I'm having a tomato sandwich. Even as a kid, I remember thinking like, I think that's horseshit, Mum. I think that's horseshit.
Give me a steak, no bread.
Yeah.
There we go.
Exactly.
And we're going to take some olive oil. I'm going to give them 10-15 minutes in the oven. Just to soften them.
Smells good.
Does.
It does actually.
Had Rice Krispies yesterday. Nice.
I don't know if I can compete with that.
I do not actually. Do you know that's something I stopped doing about like 15 years ago? I don't do sugar in any cereals.
Rice Krispies, you got sugar.
No, I don't. I used to be a big boy. I used to be like 20 stone. And
I laugh at your concept of big boy.
I did all right, but but I lost like a ton of weight. I lost like 7.5 stone or something. And don't get me put a couple during lockdown, but don't worry. Oh, actually, I lost one. I found out why though. I mean, the reason I put on 2 stone, and I found out why I was getting dead bloated though, because it turns out I'm allergic to fuck all. I could eat anything. I could knock on a front door, cover a guy in peanut butter and eat him right now. Not a fucking thing would happen.
Slightly concerned.
That's going to be someone's kink, isn't it? You got a neighbour you don't like? That also can disappear within 10 minutes. Oh, really? One's over the back.
So, basically, the meat component of our tostado is done. So I'm going to pull that.
Now just get that one over here, please.
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
See, even at that, I mean, you're making a full-blown TV production.
Yeah.
But the folk in the industry don't have that experience. I wouldn't have that eye. Just saying. There you go. Sign up. Someone's going to have to sort it because you're talking about like Facebook and what have you, and how it's a bit. We still broadcast on Facebook with Monday Night Improv and stuff like that, and even the YouTube, even the YouTube. The fuck is that?
You need to smell that.
That is like that's a goth cauliflower. What the fuck is that?
I have to smell that. By the way, it's so potent.
Remember I said I was making a £200 cheeseburger?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
That's a big ticket item.
I am not worth that.
No, I said, just calm your shit.
I love the fact I put my glasses up as well to smell it. I don't know. It's like I've forgotten how I do that.
So this is a black truffle. This is very posh. I'm not going to use a lot of it.
Okay.
But my wife's demanding that I make you smell it.
Okay.
It's a mushroom. It's a fungus.
Have I just got? Am I going to be able to drive home?
It's not alcoholic. It's a mushroom.
I thought it was like LSD or something.
No, it's not magic.
Because I used to. Oh, never mind that.
No.
So all we're doing is basically a pinch because it's really good for umami flavors. Are you familiar with umami flavors?
I heard it in a song once. That's literally the only reference I've got.
So see the thing that makes Chinese food and Asian food taste really good, that kind of soy sauce,
Yes.
fish sauce, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's umami. It's something that your mouth gets. It's sweet and salty and meaty. I can't tell you, because I never paid full price for it. They are available from good food retailers. So now that I've done that,
Would you get it in Aldi's?
no, you would not.
Would you
But
get it in...
you would get truffle mayonnaise, and some of the brands are putting truffle in stuff.
Are you saying the truffle industry is booming?
I would say it's a lot more acknowledged and recognisable. The idiots on MasterChef use it a lot, badly.
I don't watch MasterChef.
Well, I used to watch it, and then I applied, and they said, no, you can't cook, so we're not letting you on.
It kind of got... why is that?
Why is that?
Oh, Jesus.
Me and MasterChef are going to war.
All right, really?
Yeah.
Fucking yes.
So those fun,
do Greg Wallace, and he's always got his tap out.
those fuds that are on the show, burning water and charring lettuce, right, have been through some sort of preliminary competitions. I've done cooking competitions before.
Yes.
They've been through some sort of heat to get to television. Now, if those are the Muppets that made television,
All right.
there must have been people just kind of wandering into the heats with a chip reeler should have gone, right,
I love that.
who's got a match?
That's the guys I want to see on MasterChef, the ones that are fucking useless.
So,
I made beans on toast. I burnt the toast. It's just a plate
so
of beans.
I've applied 2 or 3 years in a row, and I get knocked back.
Pricks.
And then this year they've changed it. So a few years ago, I took a couple of years out and worked in a sushi place for a couple of years.
Yes.
So when I wasn't doing the engineering thing. I say a couple of years ago, it was probably about 15 years ago.
Right. Fucking hell.
Wasn't that long.
Back in the old days where
That would have been 5.
everything was on cassette.
So it was over a decade ago.
Long time ago.
And
What was it like in the olden times?
special. Didn't have smart ass cunts coming on your show and telling you were old.
I didn't say you were old. I'm fucking 41.
So
Sorry.
I filled out the thing that said, like, do you currently work in the catering industry? No.
Right.
Have you in the last 4 years last 5 years worked in the catering industry? No.
Right.
A couple other stupid questions like, do you have fingers, all that kind of stuff. Last question: Have you ever earned a full time living in the catering industry?
Right.
Yes.
No.
Rejected application. Now, here's the thing:
Yes.
if you filled that out,
Right.
and you'd worked for McDonald's in the summer holidays when you were 14,
The dream.
right? You have technically worked in the catering industry, so you wouldn't be allowed on. And I've seen some of the people that have been on MasterChef. Some of those motherfuckers have worked for McDonald's.
Fucking arseholes. Fucking arseholes.
So,
Right, anyway.
so long story short, I sent them a diatribe fucking daring me. I go, Jack, you think I'm a professional then? I fucking dare me. Put me on MasterChef for professionals. I dare you.
All right, okay.
They haven't got back to me as yet.
Why not
So-
though?
But I don't know. But we were at BBC Scotland, we'll ask them.
BBC Scotland, do your own show. Why aren't you doing your own show?
So, hot pan, variety of beans, pinto beans and red beans. Pinto
lovely.
beans are basically baked beans with the sauce.
They're nice.
There's cannoli beans in there as well.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do with them,
They're my preferred option whenever I get a burrito.
we're going to cook them till they're all squishy. We're going to put some more bacon in there because we love our bacon.
Fuck yes.
So refried beans are usually really, really mashed up. We're just going to crush them and be a bit more artisan about
Okay.
it. So we're just going to start them off. There's enough salt coming off the bacon. We will hammer in some pepper.
It's all the chemistry of it, man. Makes you feel like such an idiot when I've slaved over a Hello Fresh. 15 minutes my arse. This took me 4 days.
Right, and we've got some dry spices in here. We have got some green cardamom, which I'm going to fish out.
Lovely.
And we have some smoked paprika, some ground coriander, and some ginger. Again, these are kind of the Mexican spice palette. So,
Did anybody get this recipe in a fact sheet?
No, but it might be available in next year's book.
Well, that's convenient.
So, we spoke briefly
Yes.
in the last segment See, I'm using all the proper words and everything.
Thank you very much.
About Brawbeard.
Yes, sir.
So you are the host of. Right, before I pull
I've
back.
got a flyer now and everything. Look, they made me put me in a flyer.
Before we pull back.
Do you want a sticker? There's a sticker. Oh no, that one. He's written a nice message on that one. Do you want a sticker?
I think I've got a yellow one and a purple one.
Do you want a pink one?
I'll take a beer in my hand.
You know, I'll take. I'm gonna leave the lot. There you go. There you go.
Right.
Fucking
So I'm going to take a green cardamom and we're just basically going to crack them open. Because cardamom is quite. Sorry, I'll let you plug in a minute.
Thank you.
We're doing the cooking bit.
Yes, sir.
Right, so green cardamon's in there. We're going to let that toast away. While you're talking,
I've been working on some material, I've literally just written a lot of finger. Nothing below it. I know exactly what that is, Bill. That helps. I know what that bit is.
So while you're talking away, at some point, I'm going to put some orange juice in there. Traditionally, you would put stock in there. So broadcast. You and the broadcast has been going for. Well, why don't you tell me all about the broadcast?
All right. Well, broadcast is the creation of Brawbeard, or which is Brawbeard Oils, if that helps, which is John Jackson, JJ, a one-man operation. Not only do the stuff they make is Brawbeard Oils, the hats, you've got one on right there, part of the Brotherhood right there. You can check out loads of amazing stuff that they have. And I've known JJ for a few years. I was a fan of what they did anyway, and he had me on as the host of the Brawbeard and Mustache competition in Glasgow. And he'd been doing broadcasting, so they got me on as a guest and basically reached out after we got to know each other a bit and went, I'm busy running a company here. I love doing the vlogs, which he's got loads of amazing content over on the YouTube. You can check that out. And getting to what I liked about broadcast as a fan is he was getting to talk to ambassadors, but interesting folk like MMA fighters and PTs and TT bikers, and it's just so much interesting stuff. And he said, how about you come on as host? And I thought, man, that sounds like fucking incredible. It's a challenge. When someone reaches out and go, I'm investing in you, come and do this. I was like, fuck yes. So over the last year, well, here's the thing. Just as we were about to had Jimmy Britton, who was an award-winning, is an amazing lawyer over in Charlotte, North Carolina. Woo!
What's his bodyguard was?
I know. I know all about the stories of Ric Flair. But just as we did the first one, guess what happened a couple of days later? Everything locked down. So I'd started doing the online streaming, of course, and he'd come up with the brilliant idea of, what about you do that, but with broadcast? So over the last year, so reaching out to members of the Brotherhood, we had your good self on, we had loads of amazing, interesting guests, and it's became like a lifestyle podcast. It's not even necessarily about having beards, but celebrating people that live an alternative life and just having some laughs and having a good time about it. And it has grown and grown and grown. And so that's what it is now. And we've just removed to Sunday nights. And you can check out the live one. You can be a part of that. Or you can check it out on Spotify. And that's what it is, really. It's about it is amazing that people were reaching out to and doing crossovers. And God, it's great. And big plans for taking it on the road in the future. So hopefully broadcast is going to be around for a good while. We're just going to make it bigger and better. That's one of the cool things about lockdown, and even the likes of yourselves, it's like people's ambitions now are just completely open. It's like, well, why can't we? Why can't we do a cooking show? I mean, it's like, oh, I just know that's what someone else does. Why? Yeah, people wanted to reach out and create their own things. And I hate using phrases like establishment and all that, but it's, how is anything going to change? How is anything going to challenge? How are you going to change your position unless you go for it? Like, it's like people that are down on themselves. It's like, well, how's that ever going to change unless you do something about it? No one wakes up in the morning and goes, how did I get Billy Kirkwood on a stage? Nobody wakes up and does that. The only person that's going to do anything about that is me. Yeah. The only person is in the past. What's the point of worrying about the past? That's like trying to change the time you woke up this morning.
I know it's
Wise words.
Thank you. I'm available for TED Talks. If you're called Ted, I'll come round and talk to you for individual.
Any comments, any feedback on the stream?
Lynn Hunter said hi from Geordieland.
Hi, Lynn.
I'll link him. Francis Ferguson said good morning from Florida.
Sweet.
Laura Gallagher said love a
global
tomato
cooking show.
sandwich.
Global cooking show.
Trisha Canfield says, hi everyone, hope you have a great show. Ryan Allen, is this a Sons of Anarchy spin-off?
It's already better than the Mayan.
And Sandy Smith said, hashtag Pirate King for MasterChef 2020.
Yes!
Start the motion. So Trisha Canfield, just one of our long-time viewers.
Hello, Trisha.
They won the birthday show. So Trisha or her husband or whoever really, she can sell it on eBay for all I care. We'll get to sit there in season 3 and do what you're doing.
Fuck yes!
Eat food and... So, just to get back to our refried beans, as you can see, we started to mash up our beans a little bit. We put our orange juice in, it's all reducing down on the overhead. So we're going to keep doing that. It's almost like a saucy pasty. Saucy paste.
Saucy paste.
Not any giggities.
That was my wrestling name for a while.
We're not in much in the way of giggity.
That was my stripper name.
Oh,
Saucy paste.
Saucy paste.
Here it comes, saucy paste. Coming with a Wayne and a pram.
So that's absolutely
Not
fine.
that, boys.
I'm going to put that over there for the time being, which would be a fantastic segue to get back to our chicken.
Back to the chicken.
So, previously on Pirate King Kitchen, we took some Thai green curry paste,
You did?
put in some milk, some salt and pepper. We've let our chicken hang out in there, so it's doing all its kind of tenderization and getting all its flavours on. We made a dredge, didn't we? Really?
Yes, we did.
So in the
Very much
dredge,
involved with that process.
in the dredge, equal parts of flour and corn flour,
Yes.
and we put some herbs and spices in there. And as soon as I remember what they are, I'll tell you. Garlic, ginger, I want to say turmeric. That's the one. Salt and pepper. So.
I was going to take a stab in the dark there. I was going to say cardamom. Like I knew what I was talking about. Cardamon's been mentioned.
Cardamom is in the beefs.
Bastard.
So we're just going to move our flour through our seasonings. So you get the seasoned flour from.
Yes.
Right, so this bit's quite messy and the deep fat fire's over there. So I'm basically going to leave the show in your hands while I go and fry some chicken.
Right. Well, welcome to...
Not yet. Hold.
I'll tell you about my theory about why ghosts aren't real. Tell you about my theory why ghosts aren't real if you want.
Yes, that's it, right. So basically our chicken's in there, and as you can see, it's kind of picked up all the stuff over there. So we'll basically pick that out there, give it a little shake dry, dredge it through there, and then we're going to pop it in some deep fat oil, 170 degrees, 180 degrees, nice and hot. So I will leave you to tell people about ghosts.
Has that been fired on?
Yes.
Has that been good to go? Right.
Yes.
I feel under pressure here. Right. Well, I'll tell you, first of all, right, I've done a
little bit. If I'm leaving the country, I'm here.
Well, right, I'll tell you then, right. I've done some mental gigs in my time, right. One of my favourite ones, because I'll say yes to anything. It's cool when people phone you up and people phone you up coming to cooking shows. I at one point was supporting Derek Acora on tour. And it's not a phone call I expected to get, to be honest. But do you want to support Derek Acora on tour? Yes. I was booked for 10 dates. I got let go after 3. I'll explain.
Okay.
I'll explain what happened. First of all, for the record, the audiences were great. Like, the gigs all went really, really well. But the phrase in an email was, "You're not taking this very seriously," which is ridiculous for a fucking comedian to be told, but there you go. So, a couple of things happened. Derek was a great guy, for what it's worth. But I joked one day, I would tell people my theory why I didn't think ghosts were real, or why ghosts could be real. And they went, well, go on then, tell us. So here's the thing, right? If you die, right, so if ghosts are real, that would mean there had to be, I don't know, let's say 100 million people die every day, or every year, right? So that would mean that unless you die twice, which would be shite, like you're a ghost for like, I don't know, 80 years and then you die again, that sounds shite, that's like a timeshare. Then what are you? A double ghost. I don't even know what the fuck that means. So I reckon if you just do the maths, there's no new ghosts either, if anybody's noticed. There's nobody cutting about trying to get a signal on his iPhone. Do you know what I mean? Just as a point of order. You know what I mean? There's never an Ed moaning about his trackie.
It's always long flowing
it's all
roads and all
old.
that.
But so I say, if you listen very carefully, you can hear the footsteps of the young girl upstairs. Never a new ghost. So I'm just saying, which is good, because I don't like the idea of my mum and dad passed away a wee while ago. I don't need them to be following me around because I've done some horrid things. I've done some disgusting things, Peter. Exactly. I've experimented with myself in disgusting ways.
And wild and exotic.
Exactly. You have a wank backhand. Don't do it. It's pointless. It's pointless. Sorry. Anyway, right. So the idea is that if there's let's say there's a billion ghosts, that means there's at least a billion ghosts cutting about. It's going to be more than that, but let's say there's a billion ghosts cutting about. So if you do the numbers game, there's so many perverts. So that would mean that at any given time, so let's do the numbers. So let's say there'll be like 10 billion ghosts cutting about. So by that definition, there's at least a billion pervert ghosts, right? Okay? So
the numbers stack up.
The numbers stack up. So anytime you take your trousers down, there's a good chance a ghost putting a finger up your ass, and that's why you get an itchy bum. There you go. That's my solid.
Nice.
That's my solid theory.
Okay, so back to why you got dumped.
Oh, I told them that theory. I said that theory on stage. Despite the fact, man, I got a laugh. They did not find it funny. Anyway, we're going to pay you for the rest of the day, so you get to go home. I am happy with this arrangement.
Thank you, and good day to you, sir.
Because by then, it's like, I think these guys think I'm a psychic. They're waiting for me turning around going, is there a David here? Of course there's a fucking David. So,
Is there a Margaret?
I've got a woman, this residual energy. She can't find her Tesco club card, and she's raging. She needs to know what it is, so she can use the self-scanner. What's that load of?
It's the fact that when you've got them and they've got TV shows, and they go, is there a Margaret either in the studio or watching at home? Yes.
You're in a theatre. There's a woman here. She's an actor. Of course it fucking is. It's a theatre.
I take it you don't believe in ghosts.
I actually,
the
problem is, like, I'm so much of a believer, I could become an unbeliever. Like, I could go, oh, there's a ghost. Like, how you doing that? Like, that's the problem. I mean, I've stood at Universal Studios and I've seen some amazing things on the theme parks, and it's just like, man, I'm not going to I'm just I'm paranoid. I'm like a wee dog. I'm going to get your scent before I'll even believe you. I'll come home with you. That's how me and my wife met. Just tied up at a lamppost in Irvine.
Sniffed her bum and she didn't
I was there for about half an hour. She's there with her hand out. Come on, easy. My back up like a cat.
Absolutely,
I don't remember what you asked me, to be honest. Oh, it was the ghost.
It was the ghost thing. On a show.
That's it. I do remember that. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you could come with me to all my gigs, that would be great. Focus. That would be
right. So our chicken's frying away.
Yes. I wonder if Patrick Swayze, just to make the other ghost laugh, turns up at like pottery classes and hugs folk from behind. Just to make, look at this. Like Patrick,
do you think that when he actually died and became a ghost,
if he did,
yeah. So theoretically,
he becomes a ghost.
He becomes a ghost, and then there's all the other ghosts going, "Aye, we seen what you done when you were being a ghost. How do you like it now?"
There is that. We saw you getting that cameo on the Dirty Dancing sequel. You didn't know there was a thing. Well, it fucking is. So Google it. It turns up. Sold his soul. No pun intended.
So, while we're waiting our chicken frying away, comedy.
Can I pour some? Yes. Can I pour some Iron Brown to my?
You certainly can.
My glass weasel.
I hope it's not too warm now.
Oh no, I think it's just.
So, how did you get into comedy? What took you down that kind of? You know what? I'm going to be a comedian, man.
Do you know? Here's the honest thing. Like, probably one of the big things that kind of bonded us as a family was comedy. And particularly, like, I mean, when you're growing up on the west coast of Scotland, I mean, it's always going to be anybody. And I'll tell you this now: any comic that's like, no, my inspiration is Tig Notaro and all that, and that's the only type of comedy I know. There's anything wrong with Tig. She's amazing. If anyone says that in Scotland, and they mean they weren't influenced by Billy Connolly or Scotch and Rhyme, what have you, you're a fucking liar. You were in some way. And that was always kind of what bonded us as a family. And when you are a wee guy from the west coast of Scotland, you're not meant, you like, particularly growing up in Irvine, I was a fat kid at school. I was like, well, no, you don't do comedy, you don't do theatre, that's not for you. You get a job, you work in a factory, that's what you do. You don't do that. So I came to it essentially quite late, despite the fact I was a fan of it. Like I did, I acted, I did bits and bobs like that, but comedy was always something that was so far away, despite the fact that it's always what I wanted to do. It's always what I wanted to do. And my favourite stand-up show ever, it still is to this day, is Robin Williams live at the New York Met. Because we used to tape. Channel 4 used to be really cool because late at night, typically around about Christmas, they would put on stand-up specials. And we taped this off the TV, me and my brother Jason, and we would watch this all the time, back again and again and again and again. And I'd always just loved comedy, but you don't do it. You don't do it. That's what someone else does. And but I'd always wanted to give it a go. And I'd helped run a production company, and we'd done regular shows. And it was like, fuck it. They were closing down, and I'd done university, I'd done all that. They were closing down. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go and I'm going to do a gig. And there's a lady called Viv G, who's the godmother of Scottish comedy, I would say. She not only is an amazing comedian and poet, but she used to do a night class at Strathclyde Uni. And one of the reasons I signed up to it was I knew someone that had done it that wasn't even remotely funny. But I went, if she can get them to do a gig, she can get me to do a gig. But there was a gig at the end. And I went, fuck it, it's a bucket list. It's a bucket list. I will do that. And I, God, fuck, man, I was awake. I still remember, like, the gig was on like a Tuesday night, and I was awake for like a week before it, just worrying. And I thought, I'll do that. And the class was amazing. I got to meet some wonderful comedians that I'm still friends with and are still gigging today in that class, like Martin Nelson and Jay Lafferty and all those type of guys. And that was it. I'll do this one gig, and it was great. Now, here's the thing. I have that set, and I don't like a word of it. But it's like, I watch it back now and I go, oh God, don't do that. No, don't do that. And
Stop talking.
Stop. What the fuck? Like, honestly, I watch it and I cringe stuff that I would tell people, don't ever do this. Don't ever do that. So that was that first gig. And I remember it went so well. It went really great. And I remember at that night, I got offered a gig the following night. Now, see, the gig of the following night was at the Tartan Rose in Paisley, which is shite of a gig, whatever it is. And I made every mistake. Like, I made every... I've got this. I'm going to write a whole new set in a day. I'm going to write a whole new set in a day, and I'm going to turn up, and I died in my hoop. But see the challenge of it. Oh, this isn't easy. I felt something.
Do you ever find, obviously, you do it professionally now, and you've got that internal filter of that's funny, that's not filtered, that'll hit, that won't hit.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that sort of thing where you're out of an evening and somebody go like, oh, I'll tell you who is funny.
Aye.
You need to talk to Darren. Oh, he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And they start trying to feed you material. How do you deal with that?
Do you know, most people are just being nice. I don't take it personally at all. It's like, oh, that's fine. You talk to Darren. Nah, what does Darren do? He works in Quick Fit. I'm all right.
Yeah, I have people who've sat here.
Oh, really?
Right. Eating.
Yeah.
Like chicken tikka.
Right.
Tell you who makes good tikka. You know what you should do? See for your tikka.
Yeah.
Go to such and go. Talk to Ian.
Yeah.
Well, if mine's that bad, stop jamming it in your face.
Yeah.
And I thought, from a comedy point of view, you must get really tired. Or somebody going, oh, I've got a cracking recipe for soup.
Yeah. Do you know? I'm also quite hungry to hear what people say. I mean, chances are Darren's a wacky bastard in the office, but he's probably telling you Jimmy Carr jokes.
He's recycling somebody else's humour.
And then most times it comes from a nice place. I mean, you will meet. One of the coolest things is I've got to meet some amazing individuals. I've got to do some fucking amazing things, which I would have never got to do if I ended up being that wee fat kid that just got a job in a local factory. You know.
So who's your favourite comedian? Would you say?
It is Robin Williams. And you know something? It's so funny that I was probably like, I mean, I've been a comic for 15 years. Right. I was probably like 10 years into it before I figured that out.
Really?
Yeah, I was probably 10 years into it before I figured that out.
I don't think he was ever the same after he left Take That.
Me too.
Sorry, that was funny. I'm just going to get back to the cooking.
Gary Barlow was my favourite comic, if that's the answer. I was saying that Freedom was a buzzing hit. See that first album Robbie did? It's fucking incredible.
But you know, see when you look back at Robin Williams' sort of catalogue of work, the man was not only a comedy genius, he was, because when you looked at from Mork and Mindy to Dead Poets Society, there's actors out there that wish they had that range.
It's the diversity, man. Not only was he like a force of nature, but I mean he did improv and he did films and what have you. And just
did he do stand up?
He did. He was. That's how
The
he,
movies.
he started
Oh.
in the clubs, and that was what got him working Mindy. You know, and even then, like probably people go a sitcom, and geez, a Happy Days spin-off,
Yeah.
and it was, which is what it was. And he just became huge. And like I say, Live at the New York Met is my favorite. Yeah, you can turn around and say it's kind of dated now. There's about where he's doing an impression of Ronald Reagan, but it's even the body of work. Yeah, exactly. But that's like saying like, well, David Bowie did that one good album.
Yeah.
You know, and you think about Metallica did that one good album. Even now, man, I mean, you think of like what people like Dua Lipa and Pink are doing now. Pink's been around over a decade.
That's it. Do you think like Bowie's a great example of people keep reinventing themselves? To me, and it's probably the most ridiculous analogy, but it's almost like Doctor Who or James Bond.
Yeah.
Who was your Bowie?
Who was
your ABCDC? You know, people you kind of grow into it, and you kind of put them in the box of what they've done when you became aware of them.
Yeah.
And then if you're a fan, you go and back catalogues.
Definitely.
Yeah. So to me, Robin being really old, my first sort of interaction with Robin Williams was Mock Mindy.
Yeah.
And it was so different to any other comedy performance.
It was, yeah.
Because it was manic, and you're like, that's you know that you have these thoughts now, but you're like, there's no way that's scripted. There's no way that he's reading that off. It was just too quick. And
the thing is, like he brought this ridiculous energy. You might go, it's a mental concept, but they're also, it's like this is going to be me. I am a bit of a comedy geek, but it's also like an allegory for like somebody being in a relationship in America, and that person is an alien in both ways, like an immigrant. And even how he's dealt with and trying to incorporate himself into life, and they've got a son. They end up getting a son that's played by a guy called Jonathan Winters, who is ironically Robin Williams' icon. Everyone doesn't like he got him this guy, and he's a genius. But he's his appearance is that he's 50 because they're on Mark's home planet. They're aging the other way.
Yeah.
So his son is this 60-year-old guy. But what I didn't realize until years later that it's actually a metaphor for having a kid with additional needs.
Right, okay.
And they're actually addressing all this.
you need to throw the normal playbook out the window.
And you might not think, well, it's just Mark and Mindy. It's like, it is, but you don't realize that we're all getting educated that way. And I think, fuck, man, that's amazing. That suddenly makes me feel really bad about my ghost theory. You know, it's like.
So there's a thing we've been watching, which kind of reminded me a little bit when you were talking about the being more than an alien.
Yeah.
From another planet. We started watching this thing called
Alien in America.
No, Resident Alien.
Resident Alien.
Alan
Tudyk,
who is a phenomenally underrated actor and comedian.
Incredible. It's incredible. I've seen a couple of clips of it on TikTok because I'm that guy now. I've seen a couple of clips of it on TikTok and what have you. It looks amazing. It looks really, really good. What's that?
Do you want this?
I'll just deck it.
It's just fucking get pictures. You know.
Okay, so that's our first dish for today. We have our Thai fried chicken. We served it up with a little dressed gem salad. Got a dipping sauce here, which is soy sauce, honey, mirin, all the goods of Asian flavours you'd be very familiar with. Some sesame seeds. Carefully and from the left. And it's just on a bed of roasted vegetable. We've roasted it kind of in those Asian flavours, garlic, ginger.
I love it.
So you need to get the sexy photographs.
Oh, sexy photographs. Oh God, is this eating time?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Did that sneak up on you there?
That did sneak up on me.
Can I get some more?
Do you want me to move? I'll move this shit, sorry.
No, just keep it on.
Oh, look at that.
That's fine. That's fine. We're all part of the one big beardy show.
Oh, that's incredible.
So that's your Thai fried chicken. I have done you the liberty of cutting you a few slices off.
So this is the...
That's the dipping sauce.
My wife's going to be losing
little splash of fish sauce, soy sauce, mirin, honey, a little bit of garlic, coriander, and
I did not realise how much fish sauce was in things. I really did not. So until I started watching Good Mythical Kitchen.
Yep. Oh, I love Josh. Josh is
incredible. The wife's got it.
There's some stuff. Obviously, you know my feeling on other celebrity chefs. There are chefs on YouTube that I watch religiously.
Good Mythical
Kitchen. Josh
is
one of them.
There's also Barry Lewis, who used to be My Virgin Kitchen. He's worth a look. He does it all in his own house.
Do you watch Benjamin Babish?
My wife does.
Big fan of Babish.
Yeah.
And also Chud's Barbecue.
Oh, is that why this is called Babish? Because it's catching you from a certain...
That's the
there
Babish
you
cam.
go.
That's why it's always been the Babish.
That's cool.
And the thing that actually gave me the idea for this kind of format
was
Sam the Cooking Guy.
Oh, that's excellent.
So that's another good one. If you've not caught that one, and all things. Again, my dichotomy of cooking. I like cooking fancy stuff and this kind of international cuisine. My roots are kind of old-fashioned American barbecue.
Yes.
Which unfortunately you don't have time for when you're doing an hour-and-a-half show. So Chud's Barbecue, All Things Barbecue are more. That's a long haul. They do the whole. They cut away for 6 hours while the biscuit's cooking or the pork's. So that is all done.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought you might have passed the plate over to Billy.
Well, I didn't want to.
Lean right over.
Thank
there you go, sir.
Very much.
That's some
you.
Thai fried chicken.
Ooh.
Have a nibble on that. We'll do some channel stuff and I'll have a bit of chat. Then we'll start on your main course.
Okay.
So as I said, guys, we're on the main cam.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So as I said, this is kind of the last episode of the live shows.
Oh fucking hell!
I keep forgetting about that initial orgasm.
That's fucking ridiculous. Sorry, Heather.
This is kind of our last of the live shows that we're doing. We will be back in some format. That format will either be predominantly on YouTube, so there still will be stuff on the Facebook page. We're going to kind of use, because we're old and we don't do that whole Instagram and Twitter and all that other pish. We'll probably do like shorter videos and photographs on Facebook, and we'll
get
do
on the MySpace.
Bring back the Beeble, all about the Beeble. So we will be back in some format or another, but it's good weather. Lockdown's releasing. I've just bought a new motorcycle. You're lucky you never got a fucking just piece and cheese today. So I want to start enjoying my not in lockdown, but Pirate King Kitchen is for life, not that pish. So we will be back in some format in a couple of months, other end of summer.
We've got to do the live show for the winner as
well. No, there will definitely be more live shows. What I'm saying is the live shows will probably be on YouTube. We are going to try and get a recorded format, and obviously we'd like to get Billy and his lovely wife down.
Yeah, let's
do the recorded one.
We'll do the broadcast one as well.
As I was going to say to JJ, if you're looking for a venue for you look like a squirrel.
Sorry, it's more like I'm not used to nice food without there being a kid around.
You were looking.
No, I'm actually.
You look like this. You were doing motion capture for the Tom and Jerry movie there. Yeah. So JJ, if you're watching, venue, come and do one of your podcasts from here. And bring your guys down. Even if you want to bring a couple of guys down, talk about stuff, I'll cook in the background and give you snacks and feed you.
You're in that way now. You can have 6 people from 6 different households. So
we'll go out.
Yeah, we'll go out. No one. We'll settle.
No.
So, how's that for you?
Fucking lovely.
Can we get the guest cam on so we can see you there? Nice.
Oh fuck.
The motion caps. And Andy Citrus, I'll thank you for that.
I'm going to have the lights.
So, this is inspired by, we saw people on MasterChef doing ridiculous shit.
Can I take this home to my wife?
Yes, I'm going to do a takeaway for.
Well, I'm fucking finishing it then. I just wanted that being on screen.
So you'll all the guests.
I would eat it. I would actually just
pick it up and eat a little piece.
Yeah, because it's the best way to eat it.
Not that way.
Yeah, not from the root. Or I can cut the root off for you if you want.
That's the best way.
I feel like we found them by the side of the road and we brought them home.
Yeah, that's the way you've got to eat.
Oh, even that's fucking lovely. What the fuck's going on?
So that's basically a little gem lettuce cut in half, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, salt and pepper. There's nothing exotic happening there.
Wow.
So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting soft flour tortillas and deep frying them.
That's funny, that.
And I'm just trying to keep them as flat as possible. Oh, you're munching away.
Sorry.
Any comments, anything we need to address on the...
Karen Cleland says, I loved watching...
Hello, Buster Girl.
I loved watching Derek Akora on his TV show. Mark Ferguson said, love the Neils, Billy.
Cheers, pal.
And JD Rockefeller said, sadly funny doesn't mean happy.
Yeah, I think that's sort of talking about the Robin Williams thing.
Exactly.
Very troubled man, but
Emma Thompson said, he is making me hungry.
Sorry. Do you know the one thing is though?
well, she might just be a cannibal.
It's an emotional response, and there's lots of different ways to do it.
Uh-huh.
Robin Williams was a legend. Although, in saying that though, Billy Connolly is still my huge inspiration.
See the person you talked about in the first place? I don't know who that is.
Oh, Tig Notaro.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a wonderful comedian from the United States. But do you know, a good place to see her is, have you seen the trailer for the Army of the Dead?
Yes.
She's in that, and she's going to be, I really hope it's a
Is
breakthrough.
that Dave Bautista's new thing?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so looking
She's-
forward to that.
she's incredibly funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's incredibly funny. Really, really amazing. And she's going to be, I'm really looking forward to that, actually. I think it's going to be great. Because it's actually directed by Zack Snyder.
We love him.
He did the Dawn of the Dead remake, right, which was about 15 years ago or something. That came out. And I'm a huge horror fan. I'm a huge fan of the original Dawn of the Dead. And I remember going, I'm going to hate this. I'm going to fucking, how dare they remake it? And I remember seeing the trailer and going, that looks not bad. And then going and seeing it in the cinema and going, fuck. And I still remember the first 5 minutes and going, shit, I think I love this.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this. And the idea that he's going back to do a horror movie, I think is going to be fucking
I
brilliant.
think it's the same way when people say they're remaking something, you're like that. No, please don't do it. Please don't remake something. And then they do. And it can go either way.
Yeah. But it just was something so different as well. He had some, and then again, we kissed. Don't ever like running zombies though, but I think that's probably because I'm a shite bag.
But see the difference.
That was the whole. Was it Danny Boyle and 28 Days Later? They've done the whole fast zombies,
That was great.
and that because that was a game changer. Because again, your preconception was, they could, it was like an Adam Sheen comeback. Oh, there's a deep cut.
That's a shame.
No, it's not. No, it's not. He deserves everything he gets.
Okay.
And there's another guy who done a fantastic job of reinventing himself.
Completely. I fucking love Coach Strip.
Aye.
I love Adam, to be honest.
I know. Me and Adam used to be really tight. Probably my fault. We kind of drifted apart. Me and Adam went to WrestleMania together.
Really?
For my
What
40th.
one, if you don't mind me asking?
So me and Demo, Killian Dean, went to. I think, oh God, we went 2 years in a row. First year I went with Adam, with my own dollar. The second year I went because it was part of a payoff that WWE gave me
I am aware
for those 3 letters that I'm legally not allowed to say
I'm aware
together.
of those payoffs. So that's cool. But what mania was it? Do you know?
That's what I'm trying to remember. The one that
Can you give me a match
no,
on
the one that me and Adam went to was the 25th because it was
Oh.
Taker, Sean, and
Man.
Sean done the big white thing, all that carry on.
Yes.
And then we could have done the rematch the following year or something.
Hmm.
But the one we went to for the payoff, or for the was, we were in the same hotel, ate with, partied with.
Oh, I know the work there.
With the WWE guys. It was John Laurinaitis, because one of the other parts of that agreement was that the first time it had ever been done.
Yeah.
John Laurinaitis actually came to the training school, and we done WWE tryout.
I've seen the pictures, like a who's who.
And it is, it's guys like Demo, Joe Coffey, Lionheart, God rest his soul.
I think Jackie's there as well.
Who? Jack,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jackie Boyle's
I'm trying to think. Nikki Storm was there.
Oh, she's right next to me. Looking toty. It's quite funny.
Looking like a tiny little human being.
Yeah.
So we're just reheating our mince. It's all cooked through. We just got a bit of heat on it. And we're just going to pile. No, we're not. I'm an idiot.
How was that?
That was delicious. That was ridiculous. Can I drink this, or is that just?
Well, if you drink it, there'll be none left for your wife to enjoy with
Oh,
her
right, okay.
takeaway.
Oh, right, sorry.
So, how did you find those pardon peppers for heat? I know you're not a big fan of heat. Were they?
Well, yeah, it's because I have a slight taste bud anomaly, because due to a rugby injury where I quite nastily went down on my tongue.
Oof.
I had to have a gland removed from under my tongue. So I don't know heat's coming until it hits my stomach, because I've got an open gullet.
Right.
And my stomach goes, what the fuck? And then I've got no choice, and it's probably coming back up, which is good things because it means I can do sword swallowing.
Nice.
But
No gag reflex then?
pretty
Nice.
much. Yeah,
Nice.
pretty much. Ladies, some guys. So it's so I've got to be careful. But that was lovely. That was just perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Excuse
So
me.
we've deep fried our flour tortilla.
I have no
So we're
that.
going to refrying our. This is us doing our refried beans. So we fried our beans earlier.
Yes.
They basically tightened up to our slimy paste.
That's incredible.
So we just put a little bit of orange juice in there just to let them down. Sorry, but not going to make it today. I think we've let them down now.
That's fine.
I'm just going to try this for seasoning. Yeah, that's right. Happy with that. So again, just warming them through. Then we're going to take a good scoop of these. So you can hear the sort of crispiness of that.
Crushing that into them.
Yep, just to give us something flat to put our meat on. Because it's always nice to put your meat on something flat. Giggity. I feel as if I've under-giggited this week. For two of the filthiest fuckers on the interwebs, we kind of negated each other's filth to a degree.
I've got to play in different levels. I've got to do like mainstream family-friendly stuff as well. So sometimes I think maybe on a camera I just hear like my agent's voice going, "You said what? How dare you say that about Holly Willoughby?"
So that's our beef.
A goddess.
A goddess.
She's watching.
That's our beef part of our tostado. We are then going to go with...
I'm Googling one of these. I don't know what I would Google in order to find this on the internet.
A drinking pipe.
I didn't realise a drinking pipe. I know you get ones for coffee. You're like wee bronze ones for coffee. Yes.
Laura Gallagher says, what is the plant? Do you grow your own herbs?
It's a great.
So the plant is rosemary. And I try and grow my own herbs. But I'm not the world's best gardener. I've killed a lot of herbs.
That sounds like a difficult thing.
So this is a guacamole. So it's avocado, garlic, lime juice. So that's going to go...
Do you not say you don't like guacamole?
No, I like guacamole.
Yeah, it's less of your fish nibbles.
Fish nibbles. That was also my stripper name.
And in here we have a simple salsa, which is just spring onions, cherry tomatoes, coriander, parsley, some lime juice, with a little bit of black pepper in there, and a little bit of salt.
It's hard not to watch. It's hard to forget to talk and just watch.
This is what happened last week to me. I was so interested in what somebody was saying and I just forgot.
So just going to put our salsa up around the outside.
I'm curious to how you're going to eat that.
You know, just pick it. All right, okay.
No, you pick it up. It's like
Oh, do you?
and it explodes.
I don't want to be one of those like.
Emmental cheese.
Oh, nearly went.
Do you want to have a...
No, I won't. I'm not really allowed. What's up with you? You drunk or something? There you go. Got you.
Some sweet pickles because we're channeling our inner cheeseburger, but nice thin shards of pickle. Let's call it that. So it went very quiet.
It has been very quiet.
Where'd you get some roast at?
Just watching the grub. I should be plugging my book.
You should.
I'm not plugging my book.
Yeah, your upcoming.
I'm trying to think. Well, do you know what we've got? A brilliant broadcast coming up this Sunday. I can say that it's going to be 8 o'clock with MC Hammersmith, not only a comedian and improviser, but the dankest, poshest rapper you will ever see in your life. I think you've seen him.
Yeah.
I think you might have seen him at the drive-in gigs. Yeah, he's the one that takes suggestions from the crowd and makes them into the rap. Maybe not in the one you were on. Maybe not. He's very, very good. His videos.
He's been on
viral.
some of the live shows we've watched.
Yes, he might have been on some of the live shows. Very, very funny, man. He does Monday Night Improv with me as well. And a brand new show. I can plug this. Just as everything's, we are doing a brand new online improv show called Virtual Improv All Stars, which is going to be from the Secret Comedy Bunker in the centre of Glasgow. Huge LED screens, so we'll be able to see you and you'll be able to see us. People standing on a stage doing comedy again.
Alright,
actually
yeah, that sounds
happening.
good, yeah.
And it's be Thursday night, and you'll be able to watch it from whatever device with immersive TV. They're the ones that did Susie McCabe's Comedy Bunker, and it's going to be incredible. We're no one else is doing it on the planet, and we're the first ones. So we're very excited about that. That's going to be launching in May. In May, it's going to be really dead good. We've got like some great guests coming on as well. Fred Macaulay, there's one. He's going to be coming on and joining us. It's going to be good. It's going to be good action. Fred's an old friend. Darling.
We done a thing many years ago for BBC Radio, Wrestling on the Radio,
Yes.
which was hosted by Fred.
It would have been on Fred's show. Oh, yes!
And Gavin Hastings. And Gavin Hastings started getting a bit mouthy about wrestlers being this and being that. Then I reminded him when Gavin Hastings came down to the Claymore tryouts where I used to play American football. And I went, oh, we weren't as girly as some of the rugby players, because I know, because he chucked it after half a day, because it was just that he didn't fancy it. So I think me and Fred are all right. I don't think me and Gavin are tight.
Well, it's Gavin Hastings now. I don't even think he's a pundit now, is he? I don't know, Gavin. If you're watching, I'd like to apologise, but if you must have done something in the last 20 years.
So, dish two.
Dish two.
The main course. This is a hamburger tostado. So we've taken all the hamburger stuff,
right,
and we've taken all the tostado stuff, and we've crammed them together. Whether it works or not, will depend whether you survive the next 24 hours. So it's a crispy flour tortilla.
Yes.
Which is deep fried. On top of that, we've got some refried beans, which we made earlier on with our pinto beans and bacon. That's the kind of bacon part of your cheeseburger.
Right.
We then made our beef mix with chorizo, garlic, some ginger, some spring onion, and all that kind of good stuff. We've got the salad out of a hamburger, which is our salsa, our onion, and
this is 200
tomato.
Because I was about to say, I've had cars that haven't been that expensive.
So
I'm worried.
Principle being,
yes, sir.
If I'd put a lot more of the black truffle in it,
then it would have been 200.
And I'd put a glass of that red wine in it,
which is from your cellar.
Which is from my cellar. And then we'd finish the beans with the Diplomatico Ambassador tequila. No, rum. That's the best, because that's the best part of 200 quid.
Jesus Christ.
But we never put the wine in the rum. So we put the wine in me. So we've had a quid each.
And then it goes into the Scottish water. So we have done our bit for the economy and the environment.
Oh, we need to get some sexy photographs of that.
Is that top?
No.
That's a spare one, because your wee munching mouth is going to go, yes, mine. Right there. So, well, it's a TV, it's a YouTube thing. They go. I mean, ever see the Mythical Kitchen stuff where they do like $1,000 Popeye chicken?
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
I got into kind of the YouTube cooking thing because there used to be Epic Mealtime, which I used to quite like. No, I'm not so bothered about it now. But then there was guys like Barry Lewis with My Virgin Kitchen, and Heather loves. We like Good Mythical Morning, so she would checking out.
Well, Good Mythical Morning, they do some funky stuff. A case of like alternate dimension snacks.
Yeah.
And it's Josh that makes the snacks.
Oh,
so
can I recommend someone else? A fellow called George Egg. He's a stand-up comedian. He was the guy that was initially doing. He'd do stand-up and he would cook a dish using like a drill. Oh, thank you. You're cooking with a drill and a iron and all this.
All right.
Thing. He also has this thing called the snack. He's snack hacker, where he's improving snacks. Like he made the Philly cheese steak bake. Where you get a steak bake, you cut the top off, you get some nacho cheese in there, some dried shallots. Boom! Philly cheese steak bake.
Nice.
Absolute bloody legend. I'm still to try his Tunnock's tea cake, which I love because I've got my Tunnock's tea cake. Because I shared a girl and gave her diabetes. Well, that doesn't make sense. Just for that joke. Still down and out in it. But he's amazing. He's amazing. Not as amazing as the Pirate King.
Well, you saved that right at the last minute. Good build. Good build.
Welcome.
So, enjoy your tostado.
Right.
Yeah, I see you got right from fork in hand. So you're going to do the lead. You're going to do the lady version of it.
I'm who I want to be in 2021. You know what I mean?
No, you can pick it up with your hands and identify the tostado.
If the rumors have been to be believed, do you know I am going to go in because I want to make sure I do it right. I want to make sure I get a little bit of everything.
So I'm going to make a version of that for JJ when it comes down, just to plainly destroy his beard.
Oh, I never thought about that. God, it's going to have a hell of a time. Can you get some kind of dinner schmuck?
So I've came up with a recipe, which I'm not going to share because that's going to be
a beard Johnny or something.
and it's called. It's based on the Desperate Dan cow pie.
Fucking hell.
But it's kinda.
They are nice actually. I've never had truffle before. That is delicious. Wasn't ready for that at all. I was like, oh,
How dare you be delicious?
yeah, that's amazing. It's so fresh as well. Like it really kind of just hits the palate.
A lot of the Mexican flavors that are in there. So we used the black cardamom. We've used the lime juice. There's lots of citrus. You know, we used the orange juice and the. So even all. Try and put a sentence together, Peter. Even the sweet that's used in Mexican cooking has a citrus to it. So it's cilantro or coriander, as you know in the UK. Lots of lemons, limes, fresh peppery virgin olive oil, and all that sort of good
I'm
stuff.
so nervous about eating on screen because I realised there was a bit there where...
You're not on screen.
Oh, I'm not. That's all right then. Because I realised there was a bit there where I was holding the fork like in a really stupid way, and I was like, oh God, don't let anybody see that. What the fuck's wrong with me?
You can't hold the knife.
You can't hold a fucking knife and fork. Where did they get this guy?
They're good.
They're good. I'm going to have a Freddo for my tea.
So,
Freddo flapjacks, that'd be a good idea.
given the fact, how long? What's the runtime for today?
Around 20 minutes.
That's not bad. An hour and a half. That's kind of back to sort of normal.
Sweet.
Given the fact that we're kind of into the last third, or we're just going to start winding the show up.
Yes, sir.
We haven't spoke about wrestling.
Oh, fuck, no, we have.
We haven't spoke about beer or we did a little bit about the broadcast.
Yes, sir.
We haven't touched upon your cupboard. We haven't your cupboard of thingy.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair to say we might need to do another one of these.
Why not?
I tell you what would be quite interesting, and this is me pitching a concept to you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm aware she might be watching. It might be interesting for us to come up here and do this,
Right.
and have the lady folk over there,
Right.
and get their input on what it's like living with two maniacs.
I've created a very careful media presence. I don't want my good lady wife shouting.
That's why the cameras will all be pointed this way.
He's an arsehole. 30 minutes of just us screaming.
Just sit at the back.
No,
I love
you
that.
don't.
No, I
you
think that'd be great. That'd be great.
don't.
Really, baby, started, man. Hard time now.
We'd offer our childcare professional daughter, but unfortunately she's also a producer, director, cameraman, camera person.
Well, I was about to say that the thing is, you meet someone and you like them, and then you go, we know someone that's a babysitter. I could babysit your kids, and you're like, I wouldn't put you through that, to be honest.
I've met her, trust me.
Oh, you haven't met Maury? Fuck. That kid, man. Like, I didn't have a beard when lockdown started. Just fucking gave up on life. He beat me. He beat me. He beat me. All these things have happened.
That is how it's done.
That's it.
Let's try and sell some more of the merch. Play the bumper for the shop.
Sure.
Okay. So I know we said we were going to. We try not to talk about wrestling because usually when you and me start talking about wrestling, 4 hours just kind of go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go on. What I do want to touch on today, and it kind of goes back to a little bit what you were talking about from a comedy point of view, and also from this of getting feedback, almost like tactile feedback from the crowd.
Yeah.
You're obviously the well-known voice of ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling.
Certainly one of them, yeah.
Available, or still available on the network, WWE Network.
Yes, every Saturday.
There'll be a Peacock streaming service in the States for
yeah, you can see it on Peacock in the United States, but they're everywhere else in the world. You can get on the WWE Network. New episodes going up today.
And that's the kind of thing I want to talk. Just a quick kind of summary about it. Don't want to go sort of too deep. Is obviously those guys are in there and they're putting on fantastic matches and stuff I've seen.
They really are.
But and it's not even like the WWE Performance Center, or, where there was other trainees there, or they had the Thunderdome and they had the video screens, or even yourselves. I mean, you guys are remote when you're doing the commentary.
We are indeed, yeah.
They're in there themselves, putting on TV quality matches.
Definitely.
With 2 or 4 people and a referee.
Yeah.
With nothing. So how difficult is that for you as the commentator?
Well, you know, in terms of what I really discovered that one of the things I love about pro wrestling more than anything is the story you guys tell in the ring. I follow the story is what I'm.
Oh, don't accuse me of anything. Well, I've been
just saying. Well, what pro wrestlers tell in the ring, and do you know it was? It actually caught me off guard how much I didn't focus on the crowd. It's part of it. It's certainly the seasoning to any match. I mean, look at Hogan.
Nice segue.
Thank you very much. Hogan versus Rock, and you look about all those iconic moments, but the talents of the guys and the matches they're putting on, and the producers and Mar Dallas and Scott Reed and Rudo Lightning, all the guys that are working, they're about creating something in this COVID-friendly environment, beaming it down the screen the only way they can. They're beaming it straight to your head. So we're following we're very much following their lead on that, and we are we're relearning everything. I mean, it probably is. Probably a little easier for me because obviously I've done radio now for 4.5 years, where there is. I mean, I won't lie. When I started doing radio in the mornings, it's like shit. There is no feedback. There's no like I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm still dreadful, but it's adding that broadcasting experience into it, and it's been good because the thing is, I just really love wrestling, and any excuse to talk about it or be a part of that. So the enthusiasm is there more than ever. I haven't found that hard at all. And you know, and I'll say that what ICW does is measuring up against anybody else on the planet.
Absolutely.
Right now, I mean, we just did our show Bard, which was hands down one of my favorite ICW shows. And we've got guys coming through like Kez Evans, who I think is fantastic. Leighton Buzzard is going to be. You're going to turn on WrestleMania one day, and Leighton's going to be wrestling on that. I just think he's incredible, and the talents of, like I say, you know, Rudo Lightning and Jack Jester, who's involved with that process. And sorry, that's my love eggs firing up. It's they always got. I set them. But getting to do it is about focusing the story. And me and Jamie are good friends, and us getting to reinvent that relationship almost on screen. It's great because we know we're. Do you know? It feels like. No, that wasn't always, but it feels like we're working together. Everyone's kind of working together to finish the painting.
Yes.
Finish the painting, and
a proper team.
I love it. It really does. It really does. And I look forward to when these guys are getting back out in front of a crowd, of course. But I'm excited and really, really proud of what they're doing just now. I think it's world beating. WWE have got all these millions of dollars. You want to talk about improvisation, and I'm not taking anything away from any of the other companies that are doing crowdless stuff, but I genuinely think comes back to what I said about comedy. No, you're just it's such an attitude that maybe, I don't know if it's a Scottish attitude or if it's a world act. No, but you're from Scotland, or you do that. No, you don't do anything that's world caliber. You just do that. And I think wrestling, comedy, it's all, no, we can punch out this box. And I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah, no, and I think it's a testament to Mark and Rudo, and Wolfie and Adrian, and you know, everybody that was involved with that first generation of ICW. If you look at the amount of in that thing that I'm not allowed to say, UK,
yes,
the other thing that I'm not allowed to say in the States, and the WWE roster, you look at the amount of Scottish, if not British, wrestlers on that came at some point in their career, came through ICW's doors. And you know, a former, Ayrshaw's very own, two-time WWE champion.
Whatever happened to him?
He reminds me a lot of years ago. I wrestled this really skinny kid on his debut in Linwood's Town Hall.
We are talking about Drew McIntyre, just in case anyone's trying to figure out.
Guy built like that.
Yeah.
Purple shiny pants.
There's a testament of it.
Never seen him again.
There's a testament of it, of like just aiming for the moon and going for it. And again, like as a fan, I remember going and seeing the first ICW show that I went to, which wasn't Mary Hill, and it's because obviously pals with the wee man, Neil Bradsby's, and from the comedy scene, and we knew each other because we liked wrestling. And he went, "Oh, I'm doing this show." It's like I had a rare Saturday night off, and I went and saw it. I saw that show, and then I still remember, we need a guest ring announcer for a night. Will you? Yes! I've always wanted to do that. And again, like, for my career, I've always just said, yes, take a chance. You know, it's like, there are too many comments like, I'm just scared, this is what I do. And it's like, fucking, what's the point of living then? God, you got fuckers that are out there doing jokes about this Club 7. They not changed their fucking material in 15 years. Well, what about this? What about this Bebo? Shut the fuck up. Get off the stage. But I went and saw him, and I thought it was great. I literally, what impressed me so much is like, this is good.
This is entertaining.
This is entertaining. And then I think about some of my favourite matches ever have happened in ICW. Some of my favourite moments, and I can say that as a fan, take me completely out of it. My ego can take it. Like, just take me completely out of that. And it's nice to be a part of the show, like coming out and, you know, kicking things off and all that. But I realise that's a privilege. You know, they can take me out of that, and it's just as great a show. My ego can take that. In fact, I'm sure they will if they see any sense. No, I just think.
See, I think the thing that sells, in my humble opinion, the thing that sells ICW and the thing that makes it stand out, even on the network, is something new. Is the work rate?
Yeah.
But there's other great workers. It's sometimes the same workers, but there's other great workers out there.
Completely.
The production is fantastic, but there's other great. It's the inherent Scottishness, which you're a big part of, because none of the other promotions that are on there, and I'm not decrying the product. Yeah. But it's a good product, but it looks like another version of WWE. Yeah. Because ICW is so Scottish and so individual. Yeah. That. You know, it's what the hell's this? Yeah, you know, it doesn't matter what part of the world. I like
it. We can fit in anywhere, but we haven't lost our voice, and that's like the biggest thing. You know, it's anyone can watch this. It's accessible. Which, you know, it's not like, oh look, it's wee Jock McGlinty. You know, we're open to the world. Yeah, and that's why I think it's so good about it. It's like something like Jerry Cinnamon and what have you. Jerry Cinnamon's doing gigs over in America. Sorry, you know, he hasn't lost his identity. Yeah. He's still. He's still Scottish.
Yeah, and the reason he's getting these gigs is because of who he is. As soon as you change who you are.
Amazing talent, still identity, and it makes it something unique. And I think that's what ICW is. And I honestly think it's like why Vince is eventually going to phone up and go, Billy, WrestleMania and Castle Milk, we need you opening the show.
Well, so the next time you're on, we're going to talk about AEW.
Yes! Oh, man, I have so much to say.
I believe we may have run out of time today.
Do I have to leave?
So, no, absolutely not. I wasn't finished. We just have to get the hell off the interwebs. Yeah.
All right.
So, thank you all.
That's Vince phoning.
That is the call. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's GR. He needs a new barbecue sauce.
That's Master Chef.
Stop it. Season does this. So, yeah, for everybody that's been part of the Pandalorian Pirate King Kitchen Season 2, thank you so much. Yes. It's been a blast.
They will miss it. What do they do if they miss it? Yeah, they can buy some stuff.
Yeah, well, fantastic segue. Fantastic. The shop's there. If you have a special occasion coming up and you want to make something special, you want to learn how to do something, in the shop, you can commission your own private episode, which basically means we'll do a live show broadcast to you alone. I will walk you through your shop list. I will walk you how to make the dish. I will then send you that link so you'll have it. You can practice it as many times as you like. So that's available. Look in the shop under commissions. We've got literally a couple of the book, which we sold for charity. We've got some tea towels, some oven mitts. We also have the Pirate King knife, which it's like this, but it's got a white handle.
That's very cool.
Just so that people know that you're not the actual Pirate King. It's kind of like, you know, when you buy a toy gun, it's got a little orange cap on the end of it. It's kind of like that. It's a fantastic nigiri knife, or nakiri knife. So if you're interested in one of them, they'll be up in the shop this week. And we're not going away. This is not the end. We will be back in 2 or 3 months. We are all desperately in need of a little bit of real life. The crew, this is a family thing. My daughter's running the desk. My wife's drinking the Prosecco. I'm not quite sure how that adds to the production, but we need some, we're going to go and have a summer. But we will do some recording. We will have Billy back.
Yes.
And we will probably have the Brawl chap down at some point. 100%. And that can happen whenever they want to do it. One-off. We will do one-offs as and when we feel we fucking want to.
Yeah.
If it's pushing the rain, we'll probably do one next week.
We should do one for Eurovision. Do we do that? I don't know.
Have we made it through the qualifiers this year? So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a blast. I still enjoy doing it. That's another thing we need to talk about next day is mental health and how
100%.
we do that.
Should we sing?
Should we?
I'm not
As
sure.
long as it's not Kumbaya, yeah.
I'm not sure how to finish.
Or we should finish off with the Jim will fix it theme.
We like my fire.
So have a great weekend.
Happy birthday, Karen.
Happy birthday, Karen. Look, that's almost. Are we on Billy's cam? This is almost. Let's look at the Pirate King version of Cameo. All right.
I don't know what that means.
Right.
Happy birthday, Karen. All the very best.
45 quid.
45.
Verbal contract. Right. Back on the main cam. So thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Have a great summer. We will see you soon. And the last thing to say, Nibbles, hit my music.
See you later.